movie time with John DeSando and his friends online. So everything is gonna be just fine. From the top down to the bottom. He's gonna let you know if you should stay home or if you should go. Might even yell if it's a spectacle. From San Francisco to Long Island. 'Cause nothing's better than a motion video.
It's Movie Time. It's produced and hosted by John DeSando. Listen to broadcast shows Fridays at 4:01 and 8:01 p.m. Read reviews and listen to shows online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando,
And I'm K G Kline.
and this is It's Movie Time. Ken, let's go to hell.
Well, at least Hades.
Yeah, we better have. So when you tell me something is one of the best movies you've ever seen, and you're going 3 times, I say, yeah,
Well, when I send you my 6th text saying, John, see this in a movie theater, don't watch it on a small screen, it means something.
And you were absolutely right. It is a brilliant piece. It kind of has a provenance in the West End of London, which catches me almost immediately. And they filmed this actually on the stage.
Well, of course, folks, we're talking about the filming of the stage play Hadestown, which is probably one of the most talked about movies in theaters right now. The film was supposed to have been shown for 7 days only on a very limited engagement. They weren't sure there was an audience for a movie, basically a filming of a stage play. Then that was extended to 10 days when they filled the houses. And then when the houses continued to be filled, they've now extended it to an indefinite run. It's still running now on this 3rd week and is doing so much better than even the studio's wildest dreams. And that is so gratifying to see that, John.
And we'll look at some other musicals later on in the show. But right now we have something with a performance by highly skilled performers in a musical that has so much going on. You have to actually tie yourself down so that you don't jump all around, because something is going on that stage all the time.
Well, it has a stellar cast, and what happened was this cast left the show years ago. But there was an opportunity in February 2025 to get the original 5 leads back together for a 2-week run and to film that run. So they brought the show back and they opened it in a small theater. I'd say small, you thought it was fairly big, but
I did, yeah.
One of the smaller West End theaters.
Yes.
And they ran it for a 2-week run and they filmed 4 of the performances and then pieced those together, edited them together to make the movie that we see. And it is the best thing, folks, playing in theaters today.
And it is a tribute to the ability of the director, Brett Sullivan, and others associated with it to be able to pull off a dynamic movie set on a stage. This doesn't always work.
It doesn't always work. I wish it was attempted a lot more often, and we'll get into this. This is a big discussion that we can get into in the podcast.
Yeah.
It's been attempted recently. We had a Hamilton stage production movie that came out last year that did very well. We had a stage production of a lesser Sondheim piece, but starring Jonathan Goff and Daniel Radcliffe.
All right, will you stop getting way ahead of us?
That came out. But what I love is that there is an enormous difference, folks, between writing for movies and writing for Broadway. And this show reveals that. When you're writing for movies in Hollywood today, there is this fear in directors of losing the audience. So movie scripts are filled with exposition.
And this one is a bit like going to the opera, in that there are ancient stories that they have taken, pulled, and in some sense modernized, but still kept the old flavor. And this one has 2 myths mixed together. A really ingenious part, the Orpheus,
it's the myth of the Orpheus and Eurydice, and it's set, and people will argue this, it's set sort of in the 1890s, and you could argue it's maybe Louisiana, in a railway station where Hermes is the station keeper, Hades runs the railroad, he's a railroad baron, and Orpheus works in the station, and Eurydice is a poor girl on the run just looking for a meal.
Kind of like a low-rent Zendaya.
Yeah, very much.
And he is not very impressive to me at all. He's Reeve Carney, who plays Orpheus.
Mhm.
Just a very handsome guy on the stage, but when you have stalwarts like Hermes and
Well, your young romantic
Hades.
lead is never going to be your big name. Your big name is always your character actor. If you look at the Mariuses of Les Mis, they're indistinguishable. They're not memorable, but it's your Hermes, it's your Hades, it's your Persephone. These are the people that are going to be the big names. And for this, of course, we've got the original cast. So we've got Andre de Shields, the man who opened the role of the Wiz in The Wiz, and who is famous for being an ain't misbehaving, comes on stage in the opening of this scene, and you know immediately the audience is there for him, and he knows it too.
Let me ask you this question, and it's like asking Wayne this question. I shudder to think of how much time you're going to gobble up doing it. But the Orpheus, Eurydice, Hades, Persephone.
Mm-hmm.
What about those myths? What are those myths? How do they mix together?
Well, they're all Greek myths, of course.
Yeah.
And
for those of you who have seen the Odyssey, welcome.
Hades and Persephone is the myth of summer and winter. Persephone comes back from the underworld in the spring, bringing summer, because she wants to be in the light of the sun. But then in the fall, Hades, her husband, comes back from the underworld and takes her back to the underworld, which is how we get winter. Orpheus and Eurydice, of course, as they say in the show, is an old story. It's the story of a romantic love. He loses her, she dies. He goes to the underworld to get her and has a tragic ending.
Yeah, and the Orfeo has been replayed so many times, particularly in opera, don't you think? I mean, there is something universal about the Orpheus legend.
The Orpheus legend has been done in plays many times.
I think it's a slam on men. Yeah, and I think it's true in a very good one, in a way that is almost benign. We just can't keep from doing our own thing. And when he's warned not to look back when he's taking Eurydice out of hell, he's just a typical man. He has to look behind.
The key to understanding this story is that the villain is not Hades. The villain is the Fates.
Yes.
The Fates are the voices in your head, the doubt, the fears that speak to you and keep you from doing the right thing.
And those three ladies are impressive.
And those three ladies are absolutely magnificent.
They're all over the place without dominating.
Yeah, and they are the Greek chorus, the classic Greek chorus. They're doing it with accordion.
And Hermes is as well. Don't you think?
Hermes is also part of the Greek chorus.
Yes, right.
He's the narrator of the story.
Yes,
He's the one that keeps the story going. But getting back for a moment to the difference between why this movie is so different from the traditional movies today is directors today are terrified that they're going to lose the audience. They know that most audiences are going to see their movie just once, and if they don't fill it with exposition to keep the audience on track, they're going to wander and go, oh wait, did I miss something? I don't know where we are right now. I'm going to go ahead and leave. I don't like this movie. Broadway is not like that. Broadway knows that the key to being a huge success is getting people to come back over and over and over again. They know that most Broadway audiences are locals. They're not people from out of town. They're mostly people that live in New York City. So you've got to have a reason for them to come back and see the show 2, 3, 4 times. And that is why you end up with these deep, profound Broadway shows. Shows like Into the Woods, Jesus Christ Superstar, and even Wicked. It took many people 3 or 4 viewings of Wicked to figure out that Stephen Schwartz had written a Holocaust story. But this is the thing, is that the shows are designed to be profound and have many, many levels and lack exposition so that you want to come back again and again and again and see it and get something brand new every single time. And that's why I love Broadway shows and why I love it when they do just set the cameras on stage, film it from the audience's point of view, and give us an opportunity to experience what Broadway and West End audiences got to see And there's been concern that, okay, this is going to affect ticket sales, and no, you wait until a couple of years after the cast has left the original run, and then you do it, and you preserve, you take away the ephemeral nature of theater, and you preserve it and you document it as a work of art that will be lost forever.
And look at what you're capturing too is the magic that draws me to London so many times in the West End. The best actors in the world.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
And the theater actors are so, to me, so different from film actors. And I really admire film actors so much because the camera is relentless. But when you look at how much athleticism goes on the stage, and how much is going on that stage, not just a small frame.
The
but a huge
choreography.
straight, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
The set design, the costumes.
this thrills me, and this is why I just OD on theater when I go to London.
Well, and I come from a theater background, and I remember in college asking my professor, after we went to New York and saw Cats with Betty Buckley and Brian Blessed, and I said, why don't they film this show and then show it in movie theaters so the whole world can see it? And the response was, no, theater is ephemeral, and no, it's going to hurt ticket sales and all the usual BS. And I didn't buy into any of that. And that's why I love it when they take the time to film this. Because if you compare the experience of seeing Cats on Broadway to the Cats movie,
Yes, I was
which
gonna say.
ranks right up there with The Room among the worst movies ever made.
Wow.
Or you compare the experience of seeing Idina Menzel, 5'9", alongside 4'10" Kristen Chenoweth, and you didn't get that experience with the Wicked movie. The Wicked movie was full of effects and production values, but it lacked the characters, it lacked the performance of Kristen and Idina.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say, why don't you just set up the cameras with the original Broadway cast, film it, wait a couple years, release it theatrically.
Yeah, but the urge for Hollywood to have names who didn't appear in the show for their movies is often flawed.
But these same names, these same Idina Menzel and Josh Gad and Jonathan Goff, these are the same names that we're hearing in Frozen.
Yeah, no, you're right. All right, K G Kline, we have more to say, and if our audience wants to hear more from us, they're going to have to go to WCBE.org to our podcast, which in this case is Back Talk. But right now, what do you advise our audience?
I would say, by far and away, the best thing to play in a movie theater in the last year is Hadestown. And if you're not familiar with Broadway shows, this is a great one to go to and start with. So not only are you seeing the best movie playing in movie theaters, but you're also seeing a taste of Broadway, a taste of West End shows, and you might develop an interest and maybe go to New York and see a Broadway show because of the experience you had watching Hadestown.
And looking at Greek myths, and for many of us, many in our audience have seen the Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you found yourself being caught by and enjoying the Odyssey, I think you may even enjoy more the myths in Hadestown, the musical. I think that you're in for a great experience in our entertainment industry by looking at both at this time and knowing why for thousands of years these myths have lasted.
And don't be afraid to go back and see Hadestown a second time.
Look at you.
Or a third time. I've seen it now 4 times, John, and every single time I see something new.
Oh.
I get something new
There's-
out of it, and I can't say that about most motion pictures.
Of course not. There's some would argue there's almost too much going on, but for that doesn't happen with
This
you or
movie
me.
goes in with films like Citizen Kane and Apocalypse Now and Schindler's List that are so deep that you have to see them multiple times to really get through all the layers and all of what the director is trying to say.
It's movie time with John DeSando and his friends online. So everything is gonna be just fine. From the top down to the bottom. He's gonna let you know if you should stay home or if you should go. Might even yell if